Buying a house in Los Angeles is expensive. I mean, $500,000 in Texas, and you get this. $500,000 in Los Angeles, and you get this. Dirt. A handful of dirt. Now, the median price for a single-family house in LA is currently around $800,000, but in some neighborhoods that only gets you like a one-bedroom condo. And according to a 2022 article by Rocket Mortgage, Los Angeles is now the second most expensive city in the country after New York. So why? Why is it so expensive to buy a house in Los Angeles? I mean, is it justified? Do these prices actually have substance? Or is this just like the Matrix, making up prices to keep people enslaved? Well, today we're going to take a look at 3 reasons that may explain the ridiculous prices in Los Angeles coming up. Reason number 1, permits and construction. And according to a report by Up for Growth, the US in general has a big housing shortage, and California is the state with the biggest shortage, and the highest concentration of that shortage in California is in the greater Los Angeles area, which also represents the metro area with the biggest housing shortage in the country. So yes, low inventory is one reason why houses in Los Angeles are so expensive. But why? I mean, why not just build more houses and problem solved? Well, one reason for this housing shortage is that California and Los Angeles are some of the hardest and most expensive places in the country to build housing. And according to a study by Go Banking Rates, California ranked as number 2 as the most expensive state to build a home after Hawaii. And according to a 2017 study by the Wall Street Journal, Los Angeles ranked as the second toughest place in the country to build housing after Honolulu. I mean, it's tougher to build housing in LA than it is in San Francisco, New York, and Miami. But still, why? Why is it so hard to build housing? Well, one reason that is commonly cited for making California and Los Angeles so tough to build are government restrictions and requirements, including zoning laws, environmental policy, and the opportunity for all the Karens of the world, aka NIMBYs, aka not in my backyard, to come out and protest like every new development. And California has some of the toughest laws when it comes to the environment, and some say the NIMBY people, which by the way is actually a thing and I didn't just make that up, exploit these laws to fight against developers. Now, let me clarify, not all NIMBY people are bad or Karens. And by the way, my name is Daniel Rango, real estate agent on the west side of Los Angeles. If I can be of any help, it would be an honor. For a consultation, you can find my information in the description below. And if you like this video, make sure to hit like or subscribe. But anyway, the issue is not so much in building like one single family house, which can still take up to like a year or more. The bigger issue seems to be with producing mass housing. For example, Playa Vista in Los Angeles around 2004 completed about 3,000 new housing units, which is great. 3,000 units, that's good. But here's the kicker. They started planning for this project in 1978. Environmental impact concerns, lawsuits, protests from the neighbors held the project up for 26 years to build 3,000 units. Meanwhile, in the 1950s, when people kind of just, well, did stuff, in the city of Lakewood in Los Angeles County, the land was purchased in 1949. Within about a year, they were already building 50 houses per day. I mean, in less than 3 years, they built 17,500 single-family homes. That's 6 times more in 3 years than Playa Vista did in 26 years. And that's why your grandfather was able to buy a house in Los Angeles for like a nickel at 20 years old, and you could barely afford to pay rent. But even then, this alone can't possibly explain why Los Angeles real estate is so expensive. Because at the end of the day, one of the most expensive parts of building a single family house in Los Angeles is not really the construction, it's the land. I mean, on a $3 million house, the dirt alone can be worth like $2 million, which brings me to reason number 2 for high real estate prices in Los Angeles, the economy. The Los Angeles metro area has a population of around 13 million people, making it the second largest metro area in the US. Now, in the past 10 years, the population has, well, stayed pretty flat and actually has decreased in the past 5 years by about 2%. Not a lot, but still enough to get people making YouTube videos about how everyone in the world is leaving Los Angeles. But here's something to consider. During the past 10 years, while the population in Los Angeles has done, well, pretty much nothing, GDP, or in a way, the economy, has increased by about 23%. So the population is going down, but the economy is actually going up, which at first thought doesn't really make sense. But here's a theory. Los Angeles in general is going through one big gentrification. I mean, rich people who typically have no kids are moving in, and poorer people who typically have more kids are moving out. So yes, in a way, gentrification reduces populations and increases incomes. And yes, I know this sucks. And the reality is, for a lot of people, they're not really leaving Los Angeles because they don't like living here or because the economy is bad. Unfortunately, they just can't afford to keep living here. But to get back to the economy, by GDP standards 2021, the Los Angeles metro area is the second richest economy in the country after New York, and the third richest metro area in the world. I mean, if Los Angeles were a country by GDP standards, it would be in the top 20 richest countries, above Turkey, Switzerland, Poland, and well, just a bunch of other countries. Also worth mentioning, unlike other cities like Detroit that depended heavily on one industry, the automobile industry, Los Angeles, on the other hand, is one of the most diverse and dynamic economies in the country. I mean, there's not one really sole industry that controls Los Angeles. I mean, even Hollywood at the end of the day is just a small part of the LA economy. Los Angeles is also a leader in healthcare, aerospace, transportation, manufacturing, fashion. I mean, the biggest port in the country is in Los Angeles. And can you guess where the second biggest port in the country is? Also in Los Angeles, in Long Beach, which is part of the Los Angeles metro area. But even then, the strong Los Angeles economy and the lack of inventory, this alone doesn't really tell the whole story of real estate prices in Los Angeles, which brings me to reason number 3, desirability. Los Angeles is just a desirable place to live, to own a second home, and vacation. And according to World Atlas 2019, Los Angeles was rated the third most visited city in the US after New York and Miami. Los Angeles is also considered the most popular city for international students, according to a 2017 study by Student.com and searches done on their website. And one thing making Los Angeles a popular destination and like a great place to live is the weather. Los Angeles just has some of the best weather year-round. I mean, it's never too hot, it's never too cold, and according to a 2022 article by The Hill, Los Angeles ranked as the number 2 city with the best weather in the country after Honolulu. Also, the nature surrounding Los Angeles is just amazing. I mean, technically you can be surfing in the morning in Santa Monica, snowboarding in Big Bear in the afternoon, and in the evening be in the desert in Joshua Tree doing like ayahuasca. But the point is, Los Angeles is an attractive, desirable place, and for this reason, not only do people want to live here, but it's also a top destination for second homes and investment property. And according to The Real Deal 2017, Los Angeles ranked number 2 as a top city for foreign investment after Miami. And interestingly, my experience is that some of the most expensive houses in Los Angeles are not the primary residence of the owners. I mean, it's almost like a millionaire must-have. House in Los Angeles, London, and then Paris. But yes, foreign investment, second homes, and vacation homes are also pushing property values up in Los Angeles. So in summary, some of the reasons why it's so expensive to buy a house in Los Angeles: 1, there's a big shortage of inventory. It's expensive and tough to build new housing, and there's also just a bunch of demand for housing in Los Angeles due due to it being one of the biggest economies in the world, and because for a bunch of people all over the world, it's just a very desirable place to live, visit, or own a second house. But let me know what you guys think. Do you agree, disagree? Do you hate Los Angeles, love Los Angeles? Did you just leave Los Angeles? Feel free to put it in the comments below. And by the way, my name is Daniel Rango, real estate agent on the west side of Los Angeles. If I can be of any help, it would be an honor. For a consultation, you can find my information in the description below. And if you like this video, make sure to hit like or subscribe. Either way, thanks a bunch for watching and have an awesome day.